Yeah, fellas, welcome. I'm going to be talking about seduction and control of women as it relates to music. I gave you guys an assignment that the majority of you punked out on. He bitched out because you can't see the game. So far, only one person has actually nailed it as to why I asked you, why do I like this song? I'm going to show you the lyrics, as you can see in front of you. And I want you to listen to the lyrics. When I see you, you make me lose all control. That's how your women should be feeling about you. If they do not, then you are not at the top level of your game. She writes, like a fire burning deep in my soul. Now, when I was a kid, they always talked about how so-and-so is dedicated to this guy and how his mouth was her prayer book. Now, you guys know the Muslims, how they're very, very, very religious. Imagine that type of religious devotion to you. Your mouth is her prayer book. Do you not think that a woman would not feel a fire burning deep in her soul, especially when you can take her to the higher realms through sex? And when I feel you, it feels like I'm in heaven. It's not just the sex, but your words can bring her heaven. It goes on forever like a dime on a roll. It goes on forever. Many of the women that are not with me had to have therapy. I'm not joking about that. In order to recover. The problem is the majority of you have no energy. You're ghosts in life. Nobody can feel your touch, the touch of your mind, the touch of your words, the touch of your being, the feeling of your soul. You bring nothing to the table. That's why you cannot see the game within the song. That's why I'm here to show you the way. And when I hear you calling, when a woman hears her man calling, it's like heaven. She knows the pleasure your voice brings. The people in BDSM, that 50 Shades of Grey stuff, they have something called voice training, where with the voice, you can make your woman come. They learned the secret out there. You guys have not learned that secret. I'll wait here forever till I'm out of the cold. Your woman will wait for you forever. Remember, I've taken girls that knew I was playing on them as long as 8 years. 8 years deep before I got tired. The MAC makeup girl found out I was cheating. I kept her around still for 6 months after that. Waiting. When I hear you calling, I'm in heaven. We'll be there together. No, I won't be alone. You got me fired up. Music has an effect on people. Look at the black race. The reason why we sag, the reason why we become so ghetto is from our music. As I said many, many years ago, when they got black people to wear their coats backwards, their shirts backwards, I said they're playing an experiment on us, see if they can control us through our music. I knew that. You can control the minds of your women through your music. When a woman gets in your car, you should be playing music like this to subconsciously program her for devotion. How many of you idiots play loud rap music or loud rock music when she gets in your vehicle? That does nothing to relax her, put her into a mindset that you want her to be in, to program her mind. Think about that. Now let me show you an answer that one of the fellows on my forum came up with. And I said he was spot on. And then we'll go on from there. Now he made a separate post about it. He writes, "What's up, Supreme and my fellow player brothers? I watched Player Supreme's last two videos on his backup channel, Succeed with Supreme. He asked a question on why he loved a certain song while he was in the game. Before I answer this question, I want to just start out by saying I am making my own post because I do not want to see anyone else's post or answer, because I want to have my own answer and answer to the best of my knowledge on Player Supreme and explain why he loved it and the meaning to the song when I heard and spotted in the game. Props to him for actually doing the assignment. You're one of the few people who actually were man enough to step up and do the fucking assignment. To take a risk and put your words out there. I chose your answer because you were on point. The only part you want to add is that this is the kind of music that you want to have around your women as well. But a player needs to learn to feel the right music. Let's begin with his answer here. He goes, let's begin with step 6 of 7 steps of dating on how to be a player from Supreme's book. That's my book, 7 Steps. When you wake up in the morning, put your game face on. Keep it on until you go to sleep at night. Quoting Player Supreme, myself. So I believe that this is one of the many reasons why Supreme loved, I'm glad he put it in black and all caps and underlined, this song. And I loved that song. As he has told everyone on the forum and viewers viewing his show on YouTube. Remember, gentlemen, he loved waking up affirming that he was a player, a pimp, meaning player into new marketing possibilities. If you fellas don't think he woke up every day with a drive and to reach new heights in his game, then I really don't think you've been paying close attention to his teachings and observing every technique he has taught us. He mentioned in all his books how he enjoyed the game. You guys heard me say that so many times. I didn't hate women. I didn't resent women. I didn't hate women if they didn't like me. I didn't resent women if they didn't like me. If they didn't like me, they didn't exist. Why I hate someone that doesn't exist? And how he conquered all women, and I did, that he felt was right to be in a stable. If they made it to my bedroom, I conquered them. Remember how he said he reversed the game on women? Listen in the song to it's Funky Green Dogs, but Funky Dogs, when they say, when I see you, you make me lose all control, like a fire burning deep in my soul. I'm quite sure Supreme reversed that on his women, and they lost complete control when they saw him or were around him, and they had a burning deep within their souls just to be with him. And that is so fucking true. The women made it to the actual team status. They craved me. The ones that or side pieces, they craved me. When I feel you, it feels like I'm in heaven. It goes on forever like a diamond or gold. Have you fellas ever heard Supreme say that when he was fucking his women and making love to them, that he made them feel like they're touching God? It was both of us. I felt like we were touching God. And I brought them along to that height with me. As I said the other day, the one woman, she rejected me after that experience. She ran. She said she wasn't ready for that. She cried. And she ran. It's the first time it ever happened to me. You know, I take them to heaven, and she freaked out. She fucking freaked out. I will never forget that as long as I live. Well, there was another boost to his day because Supreme gave these women heaven in the bedroom. I was their teacher in the bedroom. Because a lot of women didn't know that much about their bodies. They didn't know how far they could go. They didn't know their limits. And as one woman said, I taught her how to connect her heart and sex. In fact, she's the last person I ever taught anything to. After my little brother died, I stopped everything I was doing. I gave up. My girlfriend said one guy gave her 8 nuts. I'd given her 5. So I'm not trying. I'm not gonna do anymore. But before that, I brought women as close to heaven as I could. Some of us, we got there, but they had the right tools inside their head. And those are the ones that made it to the team. He continues, and let's not forget, diamonds last forever and are a woman's best friend. So, just observing Player Supreme's life and what he is asking, you begin to see why he loved this song so much, because he woke up every single day, 247, 365 days a year, knowing and affirming he was a player and he was in the game. I felt euphoric waking up. When you have a team and you're top of your game, you feel a euphoria, a sense of euphoria. You feel all powerful. You feel like you really are king of the world or your world. I knew that I could go anywhere in the world and meet women. That's why I put out years ago, give me $100, drop me in any town, and I'll have a woman by the end of the week. I knew that. Every cell of my body, fellas, listen, every cell of my body, I knew that. Affirm he was a player when he was in the game. Counting on into the song, you hear the woman say the chorus, "You've got me fired up, fired up." Now, this could work both ways for us as players and for our women. Every single day, we should be fired up and ready to go after our day with purpose and passion and a willingness to be great and to be the best player alive. I walked into the club with superhead. That means super ego. That's why I was so upset with my girlfriend when I first met her when we leave the club. She said goodbye to this lower level player. She spoke to a bottom feeder player because I knew I was better than every male in there. What I bring to the table was better than every male in there. Number one, I reaffirmed to myself that I owned my own business. So that set me above every player in there. Number two, I knew I was the bomb in bed. I figured women out, and I taught them, and I pushed their limits, and I stretched them sexually and mentally. Nobody else was doing that. Are you stretching your women? Are you pushing her up to a new sexual higher level? Or are you just doing the old in and out, getting your nut, jumping up, and leaving? Think about that for a minute. As he writes, every single day we should be fired up and ready to go for our purpose and passion and willingness to be great and be the best player alive. Supreme woke up every day loving his life because he rose above life. I was at a very high level of energy in life, and at that level you are more creative. I created the TV show Spirit Quest, and I got my boy Craig to produce the show. I created the show idea because he was looking for a project to make money. So I created a TV show. When you're at that level, things happen, doors open for you. You get invited to places. You get to meet new people when you operate at a high level. He writes, I'm certain that Player Supreme's women were excited and fired up to see him and hear his voice because they knew that they had a real man in their life. And he knew he was the best thing that came into their lives. Thank you very much for noticing that. Yes, I broke their hearts at the end, but I was the best teacher they've ever had. You see, we are each other's teachers, as Mary Williamson talked about in her course called A Course in Miracles. Look it up. We are each other's teachers. And I believe that I taught them to enjoy the best sex out there and to look for a good man that can provide those levels of sex. Unfortunately, you've read how one woman came back to me years ago and said she's finding that other men will not do it for her. Other men, they will not do it for me. Of course, you know I'm going to get her exact words. This is posted on the Pimps Network, and this is the post number. Find out that you were right. I know who does it for me. When I talk with men, I know that they will not do it for me. I cannot feel their manhood, their being. You know how in tune I am to that. Let me show you another piece. Your energy is so strong. It's a bit overwhelming, a bit scary. People that intrigue or interest me are like sponges. You are like some kind of sucking machine. Take your time, reread it. This woman was involved in BDSM. These women are trained to fill out alphas, males. I don't really agree with it. She says, nah, you're totally alpha. Just watching you, I saw that right away. Not trying to brag about myself. I don't like to use that term alpha this, alpha that. That's a bunch of geeks and nerds on the internet whining about, alpha this. Here I'm describing what lovemaking is to the same person. I said all those techniques that you learn are for fucking. Lovemaking is on a whole nother, I use N-U-T-H-E-R, level to me. And its actions are just simple, not machinations or tricks or, let's say, techniques. Just two people opening their souls and hearts and minds and bodies. When you connect, you can feel the other person. You can feel when they're about to climax because you're almost as one. Your energy is together. You're so deep in their heads. You even breathe as one. The bodies move as one, and you flow as one. and you come as one. Both finding that space together, that big old empty space together. And then her name. It can't even be described in words. I've tried and always failed. I've tried to teach this concept to my buddy. And she goes on. When you're there, you have no shame, no fear. You can look into each other's eyes and feel no walls. She claims to have been there. I asked, am I too deep for you? She says, it's been so long. I told her this is why I have trouble. This is why the women I've been with have trouble after we break up. I'm telling women, I always used to warn women. That was my warning to her. So let's continue. He writes, this is exactly how we should always think and apply our game to our lives. We should always look in the mirror and say to ourselves, when I stand alone in the mirror, those that I don't see are beneath me. And I stopped using that because I realized I was dealing with weaker males out there. Not to put anyone down, but I realized I was dealing with males that didn't have my level of energy. They were not making things happen in their lives. You can follow the course of my energy just in this business alone. I came in all fired up, full of passion, and I built my business here. Then I got sick, and you can see a dropping of my energy. You can follow the energy and passion all through my business. He writes, so after listening to this song and reading Supreme's books and watching his videos and his teachings, I believe this is the reason why he loved this song. Now, this is from my observation just by listening to his life story and hearing this song. Feel free to make any corrections, Player Supreme, on anything you feel you want to point out in this post. Have a good day, my player brothers. And always remember, you are either in the game or you're at the game, Player Supreme. Now let me show you another song. I've done talks on this song before also. This is how I wanted my women to always feel about me. When I heard this song, it went off like a bomb in my head. This is kind of music that I enjoy. Now, this will bring out sadness in a woman. It's okay to play this during lovemaking because I enjoyed, how do you say this? Strumming her heart like a well-played Stradivarius, even during sex. Music has a subconscious effect on women. Our bodies will entrain to the beat of music. If you're playing dumbass rap music, you're gonna get dumbass results. If you're playing acid rock shit, you're gonna get acid rock shit results. The best music to always have when a woman is around is romantic and lovemaking music. You always want to program and pimp her mind the moment she comes within your presence. When she gets in your car, when she comes to your home, you turn that CD player on. Always have a couple CDs. And make sure your house is wired. So it plays after lovemaking, so you can lay there and bond with her. And women feel music. Even white women feel music, fellas. And they hear music. So look at the words. What do you know when you know something is bad for you? That's me. She's talking about me. And you still can't let go. She's talking about me. I was naive. Your love was like candy, artificially sweet. I was deceived by the wrapping. got caught up in your web. They all got caught up in my web. Deceived by the wrapping. And I learned how to bleed. I made so many of them bleed. But they need to be bled so they can learn in life. So they get to experience the greatest joys and the greatest sadness. Otherwise, life would be just droll and dull. I was prey in your bed. That makes me think of the woman that said, you engulfed me and devoured completely. Think about when you get in bed. What are you doing? Are you just doing the old in and out, or are you devouring her soul? I don't think many of you guys have the ability to get there. And I'm looking for the few that do. The few. And it hurts my soul because I can't let go. Do you know how many women have said similar things to me? Called me an asshole. My middle name's Alan, not asshole, but they thought it was asshole. All these walls are caving in. I think of the women sitting home wondering where I'm at. The walls caving in on them. And I knew they were sitting there thinking that. Crying. Do you know how many women have cried? Cried, wondering where I was at, who I was with. I need to show that I've lost control because I keep going right back to the one thing that I need to walk away from. I taught aerobics. There was another fella that was trying to get back at one of my women. He had gotten to her before I met her. And he told her that Chris is like a drug and you're like the addict. No, I gotta get his voice right. Chris is like a drug and you're like an addict. Just because he couldn't become the drug with a bigger dick than I had, I still became the drug. I can't stop my suffering. I couldn't stop. As he said, I had to show that I've lost control. I've had a woman grabbing my ankles as I'm trying to leave her house. That's what the song reminds me of. It reminds me of my growing in the game. For those of you fellows who don't want to bring this type of life to women, this game is not for you. Just become a good dater and date lots of girls and have fun and have ordinary sex and you'll be fine. You'll meet a girl that you like, you'll get married and have 2.5 kids and she'll do the PTA while you keep working your life off and you'll have a good life. My words are for those who want to become exceptional in life and in the game. Not ordinary blokes. Those who want to become exceptional. They want to know that women are sitting there thinking, I need to get away from you. I need to walk away from you. Get away, walk away, walk away. I should have known I was used for amusement. Couldn't see through the smoke. It was all an illusion. Now I've been licking my wounds. But the venom seeps deeper, deeper. Those are words of power. She's showing you what she was dealing with. A man like me. She has felt a man like me to write these kind of words. So let's know that I'm not alone in this world. There's more brothers like me out there. What do you want to be like? What do you want to be like? This here is Rick James and the Portuguese Tina Marie. Song called Fire and Desire. Heard the song years ago. It spoke to me. We'll just skip this introduction, he's talking, kind of whining. He talked about how he used to love them and leave them. That's what I used to do, use and abuse them. This is about a player that fell in love, but it's powerful in women's heads. Because women want to land that player. Then I laid eyes on you. It was pain before pleasure. That was my claim to fame. With every measure, tears, tasted teardrop stains. Yeah, I was cold as ice long ago, baby, baby. I wasn't very, very, very nice, you know. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Then I kissed your lips. You turned on my fire, baby, and you burned me up within your flame. I want women to think that about me, or I wanted women back then to think that about me. Took me a little higher, made me live again. That's what I've done for women out there. I can't believe how many women said they were dead. They were dead, and it felt good to feel again. To be able to feel again. This is from my email seduction where I seduced a woman with just emails. Honestly, she said, I was starting to feel that I would never experience that again with someone. Here she said, I think I got home on a cloud last night. I had trouble getting to sleep because you had entered in through my brain and was wandering around inside me most of the night. After sex with her, I sent her an email talking about it. Her words, eager, that isn't the word. I was wondering if I should start stalking you now or wait for your permission, LOL. You have left an indelible mark on my soul. I feel like I should be writing a dozen thank you notes. Remember I talked about having women thanked you? How many guys have had your women thank you? But I know words aren't enough. You have awoken in me a part that I felt was starting to wither. Think about it. Also, sign me up on the waiting list. I know you must have one. Knew I was a player. I need to cut in line a little every once in a while. This game is no joke. That's why everywhere I go, nobody understands me, and I meet resistance. I show up, and like hyenas nipping at a lion's heel, the hyenas start. Few people understand where I'm coming from. Are you one of them? You can see the power in these words. Made me live again. You turned on my fire. What did you just read? Oh, how I thank you. You taught me so much. You showed me so much love and sensitivity. Tiggy tries to answer. Let's see what he does. I haven't read this yet. He goes, all right, here's my take on this. When I see you, you make me lose all control, like a fire burning deep in my soul. Yeah. Women can only be influenced through the sense categories. The above lyrics are from the perspective of a woman, I'm assuming. As a man, you must always be in control of your life. The man this woman is feeling / seeing is a powerful and masculine man, yes. A woman can only lose control to a man they perceive as above them. Exactly. You come in begging, fellas, you're beneath her. Just so you ho chasers know that. You come in begging for some sex, begging for attention, you are beneath her. You didn't give her a chance to choose up. That one little step that you guys overlook, and it changed the entire dynamics of anything you have to do with her. Then you got the usually ugly guys, unattractive eyes. What about you don't notice me? Then make yourself someone worthy of noticing. This man is able to pull out her passionate side and controls it. That's why she can only feel this way. Yes, he's right on also with him alone. He has wrapped himself around her, making her feel it's them against the world. Good. As a player, you must always look sharp and not like, but you're going to places. I don't think he speaks English as his first language. Basically, you look like you're going places, he's saying. She will put you in a special category in her mind, and it's her mind you must influence to have that any effect. Good job on that. And when I feel you, it feels like I'm in heaven. It goes on forever like a dime on a roll. The brother earlier said diamond or gold. He actually misunderstood that, and I knew that, but I like the words that he used. It's a dime on a roll. I think she is alluding towards amazing sex experiences with this man. No, it's his presence, his very presence, because he makes such a indelible, quoting someone else said to me, mark on their soul. It's not just the sex, it's the entire package. Okay? What kind of package are you, Tiggy? Look at what you're packaging, how you're packaging yourself. Now, I wasn't some guy that ran around thought I was all this and that and snobbish. I was easy because I knew that by being lighter, I could slip in easier. I could allure them in, and then boom, we're in bed. It's a whole new ball game. And the control starts there. That's the way I did my game. The man, sex is so good. She feels the presence of God. Yes, when you raise up to those levels I talked about, you find the highest creative energy or space, mental space. And that's where I believe God exists, on that level. And I'm sure that theologians or people who study, God and all that, I'm sure they can affirm that. If we look at God as energy, what level would he be on? At the very bottom of his level. I don't believe God drops down into the physical plane here, where we're suffering. Supreme has always mentioned how before she comes, we must stop and look into her eyes and speak from our hearts and sell them the connection. The man has sold her the special connection and the sex with him. And not only that, but just his presence. Because the woman caused the woman to feel him much more. Good job. The player is influencing her through her sense of touch. All that and more. I used to, run my fingers on women's rib cage to tickle them and on their backs to stroke them. I did all that touch stuff to amp them up before sex. But it's more than that. Because I used to put my energy inside them. My energy. And when I hear you calling, it's like heaven. I'll wait here forever till I'm out of the cold. Here she's conveying the respect she has for the man. No, it's just training of your voice to her ear. The sound of your voice. I'll have to find some backup stuff to talk about this, where women talk about how they love to hear my voice. I've got some stuff somewhere. But you're right, he is putting her voice in her ear, and she has him on the pedestal. She is willing to go through thick and thin for the man. Now, what this brother is he's at a lower level than Mr. International is. That's why he's communicating from a lower level. It's all just about the physical stuff, the techniques and stuff. Whereas Mr. International got the true gist of it. This brother got the bottom level gist of what I'm talking about. So I see where his game is at. His level in the game is at. And he now knows where he needs to go to get to even higher. At that level, you begin to see things differently. Whatever level you're at, you're going to see things from that level. Okay? He's into selling the dream, talking to her ear. Yes, it's all that. So you create a combination to rise up higher. She's been sold the dream. She's describing the voice as being from heaven. He has her worshiping him. Yes. And when I hear you, I'm in heaven. We'll be there together. No, I won't be alone. Here she described his words as being that of pleasure. Good. He's selling honey rather than vinegar. Looks like he's the only brother that answered the post in my house of players. He's the only brother that answered the post in a complete house full of players. Congratulations, Tiggy. He is selling honey rather than vinegar. He has become her drug, and she has invested herself into him. He has sold her the dream by telling her it's them against the world, and has her believe that no matter what, they will be together. Yes, you're on point here. He has her on lock, and she has game so wrapped around her that she can't see straight. Only one thing we can take from this is the man came from a position of power and finished the same way. How you start, how you finish. Good job, Tiggy. I don't see any other posts. Let me float over to YouTube, see if anyone's left a comment. Okay, David Akandi, he wanted to talk about his dad being an asshole. He didn't answer the assignment. Kristen Davis. On a Job Corps computer, so can't click on song. Just by the lyric you posted, this is where I peep the game. When I see you, you make me lose all control. The memories and intense orgasms and energy you put into a female, good job. And unique, pleasant fantasy like experiencing you give her makes her almost giddy when she sees you, because an average male square could never give her that. Exactly. You're on point here. Which is why I use that to my advantage. Fantasies cost, bitch. Purse first, ass last. He must have been on the Pimps Network reading shit to say that. When I hear you calling, it's like heaven. Classic lesson from female mind seduction. When she hears your voice, even when she gets a text call, she better not miss it, because even the slight thought of losing out on the chance of seeing you and being engulfed in your presence of energy and personal magnetism / vibration / charisma is mind shattering. Very true. I just had a flashback of women who said, "Oh God, I went to sleep. I'm so sorry I missed your call. Oh God." Then they want to try to get a makeup. No. Do you know how many women sat there waiting for me? To the point where it became insane? I'll wait here forever till I'm out of the cold. Not that it matters if she's seen others, but this tells me that if your game laid deep enough, she's going to wait on you. Yep, because some of the girls I started seeing, they were seeing other guys, and they stopped seeing them. They said they're waiting for me. Even the ones that were married, they stopped having sex with their husbands. And you've seen evidence of that on that show called Cheaters. That's how you idiots blow it. You got to keep your routine the same. If you've been giving her sex before you start cheating on her, and you suddenly stop, she's going to sense something wrong. You never break your protocols. So good job, Christian Davis. Good to hear from you again. There you have it, brothers. I see that a couple of people have the potential. Sorry if you didn't answer the simple test, but I know what I'm working with. And I know that my path in this business is going to be a long, lonely path. I talked about taking the red pill long ago, before these idiots all over the YouTube start talking about red pill. I took it from a guy named The Kid. on the Pips Network, and I bought it to my shows. Take the red pill. Some of you need to keep on taking the blue pill and just stay asleep. But those of you with the potential for a higher level of gain, I'm here.